The slap came out of nowhere, sharp and stinging, snapping my head to the side as the humid August air pressed in around us. My cheek burned instantly, and the taste of blood filled my mouth from where my lips split against my teeth. Victor Kane, my stepfather, loomed over me between two parked cars, his expensive suit jacket still perfectly buttoned, his face twisted with a rage I'd only glimpsed before in fleeting moments at home. "You think you can drag the Kane name through the mud like this?" he hissed, his voice low but venomous, spit flecking my face. His hand wrapped around my throat, not squeezing hard enough to choke, but tight enough to remind me who held the power. "You live under my roof. You carry my family's reputation. And you humiliate me in front of clients." I tasted copper and felt my knee scrape the rough pavement when he shoved me back. The sodium lights overhead cast harsh yellow shadows, making his features look even more menacing. This wasn't the calculated pronouncement delivering Victor from family dinners. This was raw, uncontrolled fury. I had just been inside the Echo Lounge, pouring my soul into Fight Song by Rachel Platten on the small karaoke stage. The crowd had cheered, my voice raw with the frustration I'd bottled up for months living back in my childhood home after my divorce. At 34, as a compliance officer at Oak Ridge Medical Center, I thought I had escaped the traps of bad decisions. But here I was again, scraping to save for my own place while navigating Victor's suffocating kingdom. It started earlier that evening. The house in Oak Ridge smelled perpetually of his signature cologne, cedarwood, and something metallic, like sharpened steel. Victor, at 57, ran Summit Power Group with an iron fist, their tentacles deep into every major infrastructure project, from water lines to power grids across the county. He had married my mother, Claire, 14 years ago, bringing his son Connor into our lives. Connor, now 27, slid effortlessly into a business development role at Summit. No questions asked. At dinner that night, Victor had held court as usual, slicing his steak precisely while lecturing on family standards and professional image. My hospital ID badge still clipped to my blouse drew his pointed stare. "Elena, you look like you just rolled out of a staff meeting. Appearance matters. It reflects on all of us." Claire nodded quietly, her wine glass refilling itself almost magically, her smiles thin and forced. Connor smirked from across the table. "In healthcare compliance, I dealt daily with red flags around conflicts of interest and ethics violations. But in Victor's world, rules bent for those with connections." I excused myself early, citing overtime, but really I needed air. The Echo Lounge sat a short walk away, its neon sign buzzing like an old friend. Inside, the air hummed with laughter, beer, and forgotten dreams. Alex Rivera, the sound guy who ran the place like clockwork, waved from his booth lined with cameras for security. "Rough one. Elena," he called. The bartender poured my usual, and soon I was on stage, the opening notes hitting like a release valve. For those minutes, I wasn't the tolerated stepdaughter or the meticulous compliance specialist. I was free, voice cracking with pent-up anger at the small humiliations, my laundry ignored, friends requiring notice, Victor's booming phone calls about city deals late into the night. Then I spotted him near the entrance, Victor, flanked by two suited men, likely potential clients for a big municipal bid. His face drained of color, then flooded red. My voice hitched, but I finished the song, applause washing over me distantly. He moved fast, gripping my arm like a vice and steering me out. Outside. Now. The parking lot assault followed, slaps, threats, the knee to the ground. He straightened his tie afterward, calm returning like flipping a switch. "Get home. We'll discuss your place in this family tomorrow," He strolled back inside, probably smoothing things over with excuses about family issues. I stayed kneeling there, blood in my mouth, bruises forming, until a bartender found me. What Victor didn't know was that the Echo Lounge's 8 security cameras, installed after past incidents, high-def with audio and cloud backups, had captured it all. Every frame timestamped. August 15th, 2025, 22:47. The king had slipped, and the evidence was uploading silently to servers far beyond his reach. That night, I drove myself to the ER at Oak Ridge Medical Center, the familiar disinfectant smell grounding me. Sheila at intake gasped at my face. Elena? Protocol first, photos. Documentation. I insisted on full records, front, profiles, close-ups of the throat marks, split lip, swelling eye. Officer Ramirez arrived later, notebook in hand, but his pen slowed when I named Victor Kane of Summit Power Group. Family matter? Had you been drinking? 3 drinks over hours. Witnesses inside. Cameras outside. His tone suggested reluctance, hinting at handling internally, given Victor's golf buddies on the council and police connections. The report would likely gather dust. Back home at 3 a.m., Claire waited in the kitchen, eyes red. Victor said you were making a scene drunk. I showed ER photos. She flinched, pleading to retract it. Connections, reputation. Connor appeared, accusing me first. What did you do? Their defense of him cut deepest. In my room, I documented everything. Timelines, dismissals, conversations. My compliance training kicked in, paper trails, ethics clauses in contracts. Summit had deals with the city worth millions and service agreements with our hospital for utilities and generators, complete with morality and conduct provisions. Victor thought his power insulated him, but I knew accountability's machinery. This was just the beginning. 3 days later, the bruises had yellowed to sickly green, and I avoided Victor's schedule like a shadow, eating in my room to dodge the minefield. Alex Rivera from the Echo Lounge called unexpectedly. Elena.
Can we talk?
Not at the bar, somewhere quiet. We met at a quiet diner 2 towns away. Booths sticky with syrup. Truckers nursing coffee. Alex hunched over his laptop bag, eyes haunted. I saw it all on the feeds. The drag out, the slaps, the threats. My coffee cup trembled. He showed me the grid, multiple angles, entrance confirming Victor arrived composed with clients, stage showing my normal performance, parking lot capturing the violence in crisp detail, audio piercing through wind noise. You carry the Kane name. You're a disgrace. My knee hitting pavement echoed. Timestamps perfect. Metadata intact. Why tell me now? I asked. Alex twisted his mug. Couldn't sleep. I have kids. What if next time it's worse? But Summit maintains utilities here, including our building. One complaint from Victor about code violations. And I'm done. I understood his fear, but my mind shifted to compliance mode. I promised protection via NDA. Whistleblower safeguards. This isn't just family. Victor's an executive with government and healthcare contracts. Ethics clauses everywhere. He handed over a thumb drive with originals, hash values for authenticity. Make copies. Secure storage. I'll handle legal. We parted with protocols, encrypted comms, redundancies. That drive held my vindication. 8 angles proving battery. Intimidation. Back home, I reached out to Sarah Klein in our legal department, a specialist in sensitive disclosures. We met discreetly. She reviewed footage twice, zooming on timestamps and audio. Ironclad chain of custody. Multiple vectors. Criminal motion to reopen. Civil suit for damages and protection order. Corporate ethics breach. Summit City contracts had morality clauses, Executive misconduct grounds for termination. Our hospital agreement had violence against partner employee triggers. You hit the perfect pressure points, Sarah said. We drafted a whistleblower report. Clinical. Factual. On August 15th, 2025, Victor Kane, COO of Summit Power Group, committed assault against an Oak Ridge Medical Center employee. Evidence attached. Material breach of contract section on conduct. Potential liability. Timing coordinated. Criminal filing first. Civil next. Ethics review during contract renewal window. Press held until momentum built. Sarah warned of backlash. Job threats. Family pressure. Reputation attacks. Document everything. Notes admissible. I prepared for war, knowing Victor wouldn't go quietly. His study light burned late. Deals continued. Unaware the foundation cracked. Moments of doubt crept in those quiet nights. Claire's tears. Connor's loyalty. The house rules reinforcing hierarchy. But the video replayed in my mind, my voice strong on stage. Then silenced by violence. No more. The first wave hit Tuesday. Reporter Jessica Rivera tipped anonymously. Received altered audio. By noon. Headlines. Local contractor executive probed for assault amid buried report. Phones rang. Victor's voicemails furious. Claire sobbing about neighbors and clients. I stayed silent per advice. At work. Chief Compliance Officer Dr. Harlan summoned me. Troubling report. Evidence. I provided folders. Stills. Protocol 7 activated. Security alerts. Badge tweaks. HR monitoring for retaliation. Courageous, he noted quietly. Victor's team offered escalating settlements, $50K. Then $100,000. Then more for quiet resolution. Sarah relayed their panic. Council members pushed emergency ethics review for a $12 million water project. Insurance carriers hinted at dropping coverage. Internal fractures emerged. Anonymous tips to Jessica about board calls for resignation. Aggressive management complaints from ex-employees with injury docs. Claire cornered me in the lot. You're ruining us. Victor disciplined you. You were out of line. I countered calmly with video offer. Yar records. I'm done protecting abusers. Connor echoed defense. Bridges burned, but freedom loomed. By Wednesday, Summit's lawyers hounded Sarah hourly. Desperation rising as City Hall buzzed and contracts teetered. The whistleblower portal flagged simultaneously to compliance. Board ethics. Auditors. Conflict noted for mandatory disclosure. Victor's world. Built on fear and favors. Faced 3 reinforcing fronts. Reopened criminal case via DA reassessment. Civil pressure forcing insurance settlement talks. Corporate review threatening terminations and renewals. Sarah and I synchronized. Criminal motion created paper trail exposing any Barry attempts as corruption evidence. Civil sought injunction plus damages. Ethics hit public session for transparency. I expanded notes. Every call. Glance. Manipulation. Victor's study calls boomed less confidently now. Thursday. More leaks. 2 board members demanding resignation. Insurer threats. The exposed dropped Friday. Jessica's piece detailed witnessed confrontation. Contract scrutiny. Buried report timeline. Anonymous ex-employee accounts of Victor's style. Councilwoman Elena Torres quoted, "Violence against community members disqualifies city partnerships." Full review. Video presented. Victor raged in voicemails. But lawyers advised no contact. They offered $500,000 plus resignation. No negotiations, I told Sarah. He buried my initial report, now faces full consequences. Public hearing set for Tuesday, 7 p.m. City Hall. Seats would fill, cameras ready. Victor craved audiences, We'd give him one exposing the bully beneath the executive polish. Over the weekend, I sat outside the house, watching his window glow. Empire already eroding in filings and servers. 3 vectors wove an inescapable web, no intimidation or buyout possible. Monday morning brought final prep, hash verifications, custody chains, contingencies. Sarah handed criminal defense contact. Call at first threat. Men like him burn surroundings first. Some things deserved burning. I thought, recalling dinners where I felt invisible. Moms shaking hands. Connor's desperate laughs for approval. Home should sanctuary, not kingdom. Revolution started quietly. Cameras as silent witnesses. The city hall chambers overflowed Tuesday evening, standing room only. Cameras rolling. Air thick with tension and wax polish. I sat rear with Sarah. Heart steady despite weak strain. Victor at front table. Lawyers in sharp suits. His tan faded. Posture rigid with suppressed fury. Councilwoman Torres opened. Allegations of ethics violations via misconduct impacting contracts. City attorney presented evidence. Lights dimmed. Screen lit my performance first. Carefree. Then cut to exit drag. Synchronized parking lot footage. Slaps echoing. Throat grab. Threats crystal. You carry the Kane name. Disgrace. Knee impact. Final warnings. Gasps rippled. Whispers of shock. Victor's attorney spun. Personal family matter. But interruptions flew. Assault on partner employee. Not private. Dr. Harlan testified. Impeccable record victim. Contract breach initiated. Sarah stood. Charges filing. Video unambiguous. Torres announced 200+ citizen demands. Video for counsel. Victor rose. Ignoring counsel. Parasite in my house. Embarrassing family. I did what fathers do. I stood. You're no father, just a bully mistaking fear for respect. His rant escalated. Mask shattering. Entrapment claims met with dry retorts. Council moved unanimously. Void contracts immediately. Bar Victor from future bids. Pending culture review. Gavel fell. Officers waited with warrant. Handcuffs clicked as he passed. Eyes promising vengeance. I met them steady. Justice served. Crowd parted for perp walk past flashing cameras. Former allies averting gazes. Jessica caught me. Comment. System works when we demand accountability. Next, apartment hunt. Leaving Kane house forever. Sarah squeezed my shoulder. Victor loaded into cruiser. Empire rubble from 8 cameras and 1 woman stand. Local news ran Victor's mugshot days straight. Summit accepted voluntary resignation. Stock dropped 12%. Clients fled over reputation. I leased my apartment same-day bail denied. Flight risk from offshore transfers. Connor's voicemail deleted unheard. Some ties sever cleanly. Claire visited once. Diminished. House too quiet. 3 to 5 years likely. Plus obstruction. I'm free, I replied honestly. She left silently. Promoted to Senior Compliance Director. Dr. Harlan cited navigating complexity. First act. Bolster violence protocols. No one fights alone as I did. Alex kept the Echo Lounge open. Added cameras just in case. Reminder actions echo. Jessica won Journalism Award. Speech on believing survivors. Seeing past public masks. Civils settled generously. Down payment plus. Half donated to domestic shelter. Clean when aiding escapes. 6 months later at Chicago conference. Ex-Summit colleague approached. You inspired my report. Class action now for more joined. We talked hours, cornering incidents. Ignored HR. NDAs for silence. Thought alone. You're not. Balcony that night. City lights below. Victor caged. Name now disgrace. The woman on stage, unaware of parking lot violence, deserved justice. Got it via voice and courage. New article, Summit Ethics Reforms Post-Scandal. I smiled. Opened good wine. Played music loud enough for freedom. Revenge. Life fearless. Rules mine. Future untouched. King fallen. Truth and voice endured. Your voice matters, never silenced.